Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Tally. Excited to be here with you guys today. Of course, I got another topic that I do want to share with you all. So today's topic is about, I actually have two topics today, and I will be doing two videos, but I'm trying to decide which one do I want to get off the chest first, But I think I'm going to do the one that says, knowing yourself before relationship. When I do these topics, as I always say, but I'll say it again because some people may be watching this video or any of my videos for the first time. So I just want to reiterate to you guys that when I do these videos, again, deposit, all right, from the Lord. Okay. And then of course it's something that's actually going on in my life that is gonna resonate with me. So as soon as I learn something or that light bulb goes up in my head that says, this is like a revelation, or this is something that I learned, I'm gonna share it with you guys because I wanna help you guys. I wanna help people, anybody who's probably struggling with the same things or similar things that I have struggled with when we talk about confidence, self-esteem, purpose, knowing yourself, knowing your value, your self-worth. That's my desire, that you would, pick up something from this video that can help you in your walk. My first encouragement is to you guys, if you guys are on this journey, if you even have the process in your head, the thoughts to even go on this journey and to seek out knowledge and wisdom about what you're going through, you are on the right path. And I'm telling you, one day there's going to be a light bulb that goes off in your head if you stay on this path and trust God as well. If you stay on the path, there's going to be a light bulb that's going to go off in your head, and you're going to be like, wow, I'm the person that I wanted to be. I'm the person that I prayed to be. This just recently happened to me. Not only I realized that a few months ago, but today's video comes from a place where I had an experience yesterday. So I'm gonna share my experience with you guys and I'll go from there. So yesterday, I started a class for this fall semester. I'm in school. I'm supposed to graduate next semester with my bachelor's degree in international business. It's been such a long road, not because I have trouble passing classes. Like, I do that very easily, but it's just that I've been unmotivated when it comes to school because, I'm just unsure about the investment. But I also know it looks good on paper, so that's why I continue to go to school. But other than that, I started fall classes this week, and I have a class yesterday night. I had a class yesterday night, and the teacher does the normal thing, going around the room, and people have to introduce themselves, right? Now, when she got to me, the first thing I realized is it was the first time in my life that I wasn't seriously nervous about introducing myself to the class. Now, I know probably there's people out there that will be like, oh, they probably never was nervous to introduce to their class, or being nervous is a natural thing. But for me, I'm usually very nervous about speaking in front of people, about introducing myself. I never know what to say about me. I never have anything interesting to say. And it's been like that up until this point because I never truly knew who I was. I never knew myself. I never knew my purpose in this world. I never even really knew I had any hobbies or interests. Like, I'm 27, and what it showed me is up until I was 27, I walked around this world not knowing who I am. And it's not something I feel bad about. And you don't have to feel bad about if you're in that case too, or maybe you're older than me and you feel like the same thing, because I'm telling you, I know for a fact there's people 3 times my age that probably hasn't come into the knowledge of themselves. So if I can get it at my age right now, I'm grateful. And if you could get it at whatever age you are right now, maybe you're younger than me, be grateful for that as well. But yes, what it showed me is I walked around this world really not knowing who I was, but I always had a desire to know who I was. I got to a point that I needed desperately, and that's the only thing I was desperate for. Well, when I was desperate to know myself, that made me be desperate for other things that I shouldn't have been desperate for. Come on now, people. But now, that's the only thing I'm going to be desperate for. I'm desperate for God. That's it. I'm desperate to maintain the relationship I have with God. I'm desperate to uncover more of myself and who God is. And that's one of the only few things that I am giving anybody the green light to be desperate for. Don't be desperate for a relationship. Don't be desperate for friendship. Don't be desperate for money. Don't be desperate for any type of material things. Be desperate to find out who God is, to build a relationship and maintain your relationship with God, and to know who you are. Be desperate to get to your best self. That's it. But I got to a point I was desperate to find out who I was, so I started seeking out wisdom and knowledge in order to find that. And I forgot what I was going to say exactly about that, but really what it comes down to, what I wanted to share in this message today, when I stood up and I started speaking about myself, okay, and I started to say the things that I now know about myself, it was the moment that the light bulb went off in our head. It's like, yo, you have changed. You are not who you wanted to be. And then even when I said some things, people started clapping for me, and people was like, someone said, "You go, girl." I'm like, what? Like, it was just a moment. You guys know what I'm talking about. It was just a moment where you realize, wow, I got to the top of this mountain. And there's so many other mountains to climb in life. You know, we're not stopping here. Okay, I'm just at the door. I'm not at the door, but I'm finally inside of the door. In the door of knowing who I am, knowing my hobbies, my interests, my purpose, my reason. You feel me? And I have to give that glory to God. I have to give God the glory, the praise, the honor for allowing that to come to pass in my life. Because I do not believe, if it wasn't for my belief in him, that I would come to that pass. Because it was him who I was praying and crying to about things surrounding that. And now that I'm seeing the manifestation of that means I went to the right person about it. A lot of times people like to go to different people about it. I did that too. I used to go to different people, like, tell me about myself, my personality, because I didn't know, and I wanted to see how I came off. And I remember I had a sister in Christ who told me, she gave me like this kind of like a word that she felt she should have give me. And what she said is, you're going around asking people about things that you need to go to God and ask God about. And that, I didn't know how much of a blessing it was at the time, but now I see how much that word was so true. It was so true. Like, your perception of yourself, it's not only wrong, but it's destructive. And it's destructive to have the perception of yourself be created by people in this world or people around you. It's you who have to have the perception of yourself. You have to actually have the perception that God has about you in order to show up in the world who, like the person who he created you to be, who you supposed to be, in order to show up empowered and confident and with the most self-esteem. You have to go back to your creator and ask him, who am I? Who am I supposed to be? Why did this happen to me? Why was this like that? For me, I'm going to ask, why did I get rejected the way I did? You know, all of those questions that you are either asking people or you're just letting it sit in yourself and not even like, you're letting it sit in yourself. And it's like it's kind of negative, right? It's creating like a negative environment within you. It's making you even bitter, and it's making you jealous and all that. And that's my follow-up video, because a lot of times when you do not know yourself, all right, and you're operating, you don't know yourself, you don't know your gifts, your talents, your strength, you don't know how great of a person you are, that leads you to struggling with jealousy, because you see people operating in their gifts and their talents, and you don't know who you are. You don't know your gifts, your talents, your calling, you're nothing. So it leads you to being jealous. But that's the next video I'm gonna make. But today, I'm just saying, guys, like, that moment happened for me. And if that moment happened for me, that means all the work that I've been doing, all the work I've been telling you guys to do, all the investments that I've been making in my life when it comes to God, in my spiritual life, when it comes to my health and my body, my lifestyle, when it comes to being optimistic about my future, my finances, business, stuff like that. All that work, it's paying off, because that light bulb went off in my head, or that I had that moment where I say, wow, I'm different. I changed. Like, the work has been done and it's paying off, and I finally understand who I am and my purpose in this life. With that being said, I'm sorry I took 11 minutes. It deserves 11 minutes, baby. It deserves 11 minutes. I'm not here to do quick videos for like that microwave generation mentality. I'm actually here to actually speak to you guys, and you guys to hear me, and not only hear me, to feel what I'm saying, because I'm actually trying to help people. It's not all about views and getting paid on YouTube. No, it's not all about that. It's actually purpose. It's purpose based, okay? Because one of the reasons I am on here is because God wants me to be here. But other than that, you know, it's I don't know. There's something that makes it tough. There's something that tries to make it tough to name drop God a lot, or to name drop Jesus a lot. There's something in this world that makes it tough, because you feel like you don't want to make people uncomfortable, this and that. You don't want to, scare people away. But no, I gotta tell you who your creator is. I gotta tell you how great he is. I gotta tell you what he's doing in my life. I gotta tell you what he's capable of doing in your life if you allow him, because he is my source. And if that makes you uncomfortable, then you just don't know. You don't know how great he is, because a lot of people view God from a space of being this judgmental person that's gonna condemn you and send you to hell. I'm telling you, you need to get a better and more accurate vision of who God is, because he's not what you think he is. If you think he's just if that's what he is, he's not. He loves you so much, more than you can ever imagine. And through the death and burial and resurrection of Jesus Christ, every sin that you have committed, everything you're doing right now, everything you're doing tomorrow, and everything you did in the past is forgiven. You just have to believe in Jesus and believe that it is forgiven. It's forgiven. That's the only requirement. He loves you unconditionally. A lot of us have never understood what an unconditional love is. We didn't get unconditional love from this world, from our friends, or even from our parents sometimes. But God gives you an unconditional love, and that love that he gives you, it promotes freedom in your life, and you get free from a lot of things that are holding you down and holding you back. And when you get free, you just love how that love feels, and you feel so complete and whole in that love that you just really want to serve him and do his will, because you know that the love that he gives you and the boundaries and the requirements that he wants you to incorporate into your life is all out of his love and his desire to want to protect you. So God is not what you think he is. He's your loving father. Just start right there. Anyways, so this is the relationship portion of it. Now, along with the epiphany and the moment that I received yesterday, what that truly told me is that up until this point, there is no relationship, no man that could have been right for me. There is no relationship that was meant to work. There is no relationship that I should have even entertained up until this point. Because even at this point, I don't even feel like I should entertain a relationship now. But up until this point, I definitely shouldn't have entertained any relationship then. Because how are you going to be in a relationship when you don't even know who you are? When you don't know who you are, you open yourself to anything. You compromise your morals, your beliefs, if you even have none. But if you don't even have none, then you're going to be given to immoral behavior. You're going to be given to all kind of immoral, all kind of dirty, nasty, the nastiest things of this world. You're going to be given to do all of that because you don't even have any standard in your life, any morals, any boundaries. Come on, people. You're going to be easily manipulated by anybody because you don't have anything in your life that tells you, no, I don't do that. And that's what a lot of people are missing. We're missing some kind of standard in our life that says, listen, I do this, but I don't do that. And if you don't have any boundaries, you can get taken anywhere. You're gonna be dragged through the mud from left to right, especially as a woman. You're gonna be dragged through the mud by anybody and everybody. Every man that comes into your life, they're gonna try to chip away at your self-esteem. They're gonna make you feel small. They're gonna drag you through the mud, and you're gonna feel like there's something that you should stay and you should work it out. Because why? Because you have no standard. You have no boundaries. You don't have anything, any deal breakers that says, listen, I love myself, so I'm not going to allow anything. I'm not going to allow a person, whoever it is, to do something like that to me. So if someone thinks that they could do that to me, I'm not going to be able to be in relationship with them. I'm no longer going to be able to be connected with them. You have to understand that, because it's not even about that person. When you think on the highest level, you have to realize that it's not about you. When you're in that space of not knowing yourself, everything that people does to you, you reflect it on yourself, and you think it's because you're of lower value or you're not good enough, or no. It's not about that. It's them. It's their morals, it's their decisions, their choices in life, and because you're connected with them, it's affecting you. That's it. So you got to do what's best for you, and this is when you learn. This is what you learn on that journey. You have to do what's best for you and just cut off that connection so that person could go about their lives and get whatever they need, whether they're going to change or not. That's not on you. That's not something you need to be concerned with. You need to be concerned with you and protecting your standards, protecting your morals, protecting your values, honoring yourself and loving yourself and holding yourself in high esteem. Do we know what it is to hold ourselves in high esteem? That means we can't do everything that everybody does. We can't go everywhere that everybody does. We can't say and act like the things that everybody acts like, or talk like they talk. There's a lot of things that this world promotes that we should be doing and saying and going and everything, that when you hold yourself in high esteem, you're not going to want to do that. That you're going to see, no, that's not right for me. That doesn't feel right from my heart, from my spirit. Actually, when I do some of those things, it kind of feels like I'm dishonoring myself. When I do some kind of those things, it hurts me. And in the long run, it makes me feel bad about myself. It doesn't make me feel good about me. Those are the things you're going to start to realize when you're holding yourself in high esteem. And you try to find out who you are. You feel me? Because on the other side, when you don't know who you are, you're not holding yourself in high esteem. And you're not holding yourself in high esteem, and you do anything and you accept anything and you pay the consequences. That's the worst part. Paying the consequences for it later. And hurting you later, and you're in all of that shame and guilt and regret about it. So yeah, I don't know. I keep going. Bear with me, y'all. Maybe I get off topic. Maybe I go on a tangent, but it's all purposeful. You need to hear this, so follow me, please. Okay. But as it pertains to relationships, like I said, what I realized is there's nothing in my past that could have been good for me. relationship wise. If yesterday was the first day I could get up in class and have something to say about myself, my hobbies, my interests, my purpose in life, because you need those things in a relationship. You need two people who know themselves to come together, and people whose purposes, they may not be the same, but they can work together to accomplish whatever each one wants to accomplish. They could complement each other, and both people need to know that in order to have a vision for their life. If they relationship is as hard as it is. Now, if you guys coming together and you guys don't have a vision at all, or you guys don't have the same vision, that's just gonna make it even tougher. That's probably why people break up in the first place. But you need people who come together who they both have a vision, and the vision could complement each other, and they can work together to see it come into fruition. Okay, and that's the best part. That if the relationship has a goal and a vision, okay, that you guys are both willing to work for, that's gonna keep y'all in tune with each other. Okay, at least have that. So I realized that I couldn't even have that with anybody. I was still trying to. My self-esteem used to be so low. I used to have no confidence. How could I have self-esteem, and how could I contribute that to a relationship? Whether that means boosting my person up, encouraging the person that I'm with, or recognizing when I need the encouragement myself, or recognizing things that I need to check and be like, oh, I can't accept this. Okay, because there's certain things in a relationship. I know I'm all about the leave, but there's certain things that, people are not perfect, that they're going to end up doing, and you need to have the confidence and the self-esteem to check and be like, hey, don't do that to me. Obviously, you're not going to do it with the snap like they're a dog, but you're going to be like, listen, that does not work for me. I cannot tolerate that. And if that person could hear that, and y'all forgive each other, you move on. If they don't hear it, you need to be able to show that person that you cannot be around if that behavior or whatever they do continues, that's making you uncomfortable, that is violating your standards and self-esteem that you have for yourself. And you need confidence to be able to do that. You need to know who you are to be able to do that. Because if I know who I am, if I'm going someplace, I know what I cannot accept. For an example, if I feel like I'm going to be president of the United States, I can't hang with somebody who's a drug dealer, who's a sex trafficker, any of those bottom of the barrel choices, not people, but choices in society. That I can't be around someone who's who likes prostitution, because when I go on my presidential campaign, all of those stuff are gonna be dug up about me and that person, and that's gonna bring shame, and that's gonna cost me my presidential campaign, is it not? So that's just for that. That's the importance of knowing who you are, your vision, and where you're going in life, because you know what can work with your vision, what can complement the vision, but you also know what is going to be detrimental or a negative impact on that vision. You see, the fact that I'm able to explain that to you guys, that just shows the growth right there, guys. And I'm telling you, if I could say it, it's the truth. No, I'm sorry to say it like that. It's the truth, because I'm living it, and I'm going through it. And deep down, if you're listening to me, you understand it's the truth too. You connect with it too. So that's all I wanted to say. You have to know yourself before you get into relationship. And this even goes down to even certain friendships. You feel me? I understand now why certain friendships were rocky. Certain friendships that I had back then, I don't have them today. Because why? It doesn't fit the vision and the purpose for your life. So I know a lot of the times we can get wrapped up into watching all these relationship videos. I love relationship videos. Okay, that's one of my primary studies. But at the same time, it needs, when you're thinking about wanting a relationship and you desire a relationship, the first thing to do is to work on yourself. The first thing to do is to make sure you're good. You'll be good physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually for that person, so you could complement their vision. So when you're good in those areas, then you'll be healthy enough to recognize whatever they have, whatever they've been working on, if it's good for you and if it will complement your vision. But you can only do those things when you're healthy enough to realize it. You can't do those things when you're desperate. You can't do those things when you're fed up. You can't do those things where the dating apps got you so tired of life and you just want to give up. You can't do those things when you're in that mental state, because that's a weak mental state. So when you're in that weak mental state, you think you're going to find someone that's good for you? No, you're probably just going to find somebody that comes as a wolf in sheep's clothing, and they're going to look like some type of savior to you, but they won't be. That person is going to come off and you're going to fall for it, because because you're so weak at that point. You're not going to do the proper investigation and verification behind the things that they promise you and tell you who they are. Everybody has fallen victim to that. Trust me, I'm still paying for the verification that I did not do. So yeah, so someone's going to come to you and you're going to be too weak to do the verification process and the vetting process, and they're gonna come off good at first, and somewhere down the line their true colors is gonna come out, and it's gonna be bad. It's probably gonna be bad. If you find out their true colors earlier, that's better. But if you find out later on, after it's a deeper commitment, you even have kids with that person, you're in sexual relationship with that person, it could be even worse, because the pain that person is going to cause you is going to be even worse. So that's what I wanted to tell you. Maybe I didn't go deeper into knowing yourself, but it's not. But this video is about knowing yourself for a relationship, and it's about me encouraging you to do the self-work before you even think about a relationship. To be honest, I'm 27. You know, back in the day, if you're 27 unmarried, that was a big cause for concern. People would try to tell you that you are, I forgot the word, a spinster. Why did that word that word came out of nowhere? Okay, that they would call you like a spinster. And back in like the early 1900s, a spinster was a older girl who never got married. So 27 would be considered older, because them people was getting married at like 15. So 27 unmarried, like, that's a panic. That's when you get married to the closest man next to you, because you just don't want to be looked at in society as something like a spinster, something like, you know, like you're wasted goods, or you're trash or something. And that's terrible. That's a terrible mentality. I feel like I've been rescued from ever feeling like that, because I know there's girls my age and even a little bit older than me, that could feel that way about themselves. And I'm telling you, that is a trap. Do not allow yourself to go down that road and to feel that way about yourself. It is a trap. Work on yourself and love yourself more. And when you do the work, like I've done, in that I'm going to continue to do, those thoughts of like desperation, like I'm supposed to get married, they're gonna go away, and you're just gonna start thinking about what you can do in your life to better yourself, to love yourself more. All right, all the dreams and goals that you have for yourself, you're gonna focus on that. And I believe along the lines, when we focus on that, and but we still desire to be married and have a family, God is gonna present that to us. That man is gonna show up, and we'll be presented to that man, and that's gonna happen. But I do not believe the top of the mountain for any woman's life needs to be marriage and kids, because that's something that you have to give of yourself to. That's not something that always pours back into you, which it definitely can pour back into you. Your husband can pour back into you. Your kids could pour back into you. But most of the time, I believe, if you probably ask any married woman, they spend a lot of it's a lot of giving. It's a lot of pouring into others. You feel me? And I see there's a struggle of getting it back into you, of getting the pouring back into you. There's a struggle. I see that for women. But what happens when you've learned how to pour into yourself before you even entered into a relationship, before you even got married and had kids, then you know how to pour back into yourself. and you're not depending on any outside factor to pour into you. All you have is you and God. So understand that, ladies. I could talk probably more about this, but I'm going to end it right here. Don't want to make this too long. Love you guys, and ladies and gentlemen, love you guys, and I'll see you soon.